There are certain names in the NFL that transcend statistics, accolades, and highlight reels. They become symbols. For Eagles fans, few players embody the heart, soul, and grit of Philadelphia football like Brandon Graham. And now, in a twist that feels equal parts nostalgic and necessary, the longest-tenured player in franchise history is on his way back. That's right. Brandon Graham is finalizing a deal to return to the Birds. And if everything goes as planned, he could be suiting up as early as this Sunday, Week 8, against the New York Giants. Now, let's just stop for a second and appreciate the moment. We're not just talking about a guy who's logging a few more snaps at the end of a solid career. We're talking about a legend, a player who spent over a decade and a half wearing the midnight green, battling in the trenches, leading with energy, passion, and that trademark BG smile. He's one of those rare players whose presence alone can shift a locker room's mood, and who brings just as much off the field as he does on it. Brandon Graham is not just returning to a roster. He's returning to a family, to a city that watched him grow from a first-round pick under fire to a beloved champion. If you followed his career, you know the road was anything but easy. Drafted in the first round out of Michigan back in 2010, Graham's start in Philly was rocky. Injuries, underwhelming production, and constant comparisons to Earl Thomas haunted the early chapters of his story. The Eagles were crucified in the media for taking Graham instead of the hard-hitting safety from Texas, who went on to anchor Seattle's Legion of Boom and earn a Super Bowl ring. Meanwhile, Graham was battling for relevance. He was almost cut, written off by fans, and labeled a bust by many. But if there's one thing Philly respects more than natural talent, it's resilience. And BG has that in spades. Over time, he didn't just find his form. He became one of the most consistent, impactful, and respected defensive ends in the league. He clawed his way out of the shadow of doubt and into the light of greatness. Today, he stands as third all-time in sacks in franchise history, trailing only legends like Reggie White and Trent Cole. He holds a record for most games played in an Eagles uniform. And maybe most importantly, he's one of only 4 players to win not 1, but 2 Super Bowls with this team. Lane Johnson, Rick Lovato, Jake Elliott, and Brandon Graham. Let that sink in. 2 rings, 2 banners, 2 parades, and BG was in the middle of all of it. His impact goes way beyond numbers. Brandon Graham was, and is, the voice in the huddle, the laugh in the locker room, the leader in the film room. He's the one putting in work after practice, mentoring the young guys, setting the tone for what it means to be an Eagle. And for a city like Philly, which values authenticity, hard work, and loyalty above all, there's no one more Philly than BG. Now, let's talk timing. Graham originally announced his retirement earlier this year, walking away from the game with 2 Lombardi trophies by his side, literally. It was a flex, no doubt. But there was always this sense that he still had more to give, that maybe the retirement was a little more encouraged than voluntary. You got that vibe from the way he talked in interviews, the way he stayed in shape, kept active in a media space with his podcast, and remained close to the team. Even Vic Fangio mentioned it, joking that he told Graham he couldn't walk away yet because he was still playing at a high level. And here's the thing, he was. Before his injury in Week 12 against the Rams last season, Graham was having a quietly solid year. He tore his triceps in that game, managed to come back for the Super Bowl, re-injured the same triceps, and still held his own on the biggest stage. For a 37-year-old veteran, that's not just impressive, it's rare. And it showed that there was still some gas left in the tank. The Eagles' front office seems to agree. Before signing Zadarius Smith, there were reports that the team had reached out to Graham about a potential return. It made sense. The defensive line had taken some hits, losing players like Josh Uche and Milton Williams. The edge room was looking young and thin, lacking both production and leadership. BG solves both problems in one move. He's not coming back to play 60 snaps a game. He's not going to dominate the stat sheet. But in 15 to 20 snaps per game, he can still make an impact, especially in key moments, especially in this scheme, especially in Philly. From a pure football standpoint, this is a move the Eagles needed. Through 7 weeks, Philadelphia ranks near the bottom of the league in sacks, sitting at number 28 with just 11 total. That's a huge drop-off from where they've been in recent years. The edge pressure simply hasn't been there. Their current sack leader is a linebacker, Nicholas Morrow, with 3. After that, it's a mix of interior guys and role players. That's not going to cut it if you want to make a deep playoff run. BG brings experience, technique, and that relentless motor that can help fix that. He also brings balance. A guy like Graham doesn't need time to learn the playbook or adjust to the culture. He is the culture. He knows the building, the expectations, and the pressure that comes with wearing that jersey. His locker is still there. Jalen Hurts even joked after the last game that it's ready whenever BG is. That kind of continuity matters, especially in the middle of the season. And it's not like we're talking about a washed-up vet here. Pro Football Focus graded him extremely well last season. A run defense grade over 80, an overall defensive grade near 79, and a pass rush grade just under 72. Those are starter-level numbers. He recorded 4 sacks, 13 hurries, and 20 pressures in under 170 pass rush snaps. In the Super Bowl, he pressured Patrick Mahomes on 10 snaps. That's not some sentimental farewell tour. That's real production. So yeah, this move is personal. It's emotional. It's a storyline that hits every nostalgic beat you can think of. But it's also smart. The Eagles needed a veteran edge rusher. They needed leadership in the locker room. They needed someone who understands what this team is trying to build, and who better than the guy who helped build it the first time. Of course, when a move like this happens, a beloved veteran coming out of retirement, the natural reaction is a mix of excitement and concern. Excitement because, well, it's Brandon Graham. He's a walking piece of Eagles history, a player who's made some of the biggest plays in franchise history, including the most iconic strip sack in Super Bowl 52 that basically sealed the deal. But concern also creeps in. Can he still play at a high level? Will he hold up physically? Is this a feel-good story that ends up hurting more than helping on the field? Let's be real. Graham is 37. He's not coming back to be the guy he was at 30 or even 35. This isn't about resurrecting prime Brandon Graham. This is about squeezing one more meaningful stretch out of a guy who knows how to play the position better than most. And honestly, when you look around the league, you still see plenty of edge rushers making impact plays well into their mid-30s. It's not common, but it's not unheard of either, especially for players who rely more on technique, leverage, and football IQ than just pure explosiveness. That's where Graham thrives. He's always been a technician. Strong hands, low pad level, a nasty bull rush, and an elite understanding of angles. That doesn't just disappear with age. Physically, there are concerns, sure. 2 torn triceps in the same season is no small thing, and recovery from that type of injury takes time. But if there's any veteran who's going to rehab the right way, stay in shape, and be smart about his body, it's BG. Reports from inside the building say he never really left the team's orbit. He was around during the offseason, he stayed in touch with teammates and coaches, and even while technically retired, he was reportedly working out and keeping his body ready. And let's not overlook the mental aspect. Coming back mid-season doesn't just mean being physically ready. It means being mentally locked in, too. There's no warm-up period here. He'll be thrown right into a rotation and asked to perform in meaningful snaps from a jump. Knowing Graham, that's not going to be an issue. The man has been preparing for this moment, whether he knew it or not. And for the Eagles, this move offers a unique kind of insurance. Right now, their pass rush is struggling. The young guys haven't stepped up the way they hoped. Some of the recent acquisitions haven't panned out. And the overall pressure from the edge has been inconsistent at best. Bringing in Graham not only helps solidify the rotation, but also gives you a mentor on the field. That matters. Nolan Smith, for example, is coming off injured reserve soon, and while he has upside, he still needs reps, guidance, and someone to show him the ropes at the NFL level. Who better than BG to be that guy? Inside that locker room, Graham's return won't just be about sacks or pressures. It's going to bring energy. It's going to spark something. You know how some players just light up a room when they walk in? That's him. He's one of the most respected voices in that building. Guys listen when he talks. Young players follow his lead. Even the vets, guys like Fletcher Cox and Lane Johnson, know what kind of presence Graham brings. So, from a chemistry standpoint, this is a win. And let's not forget how rare it is for a guy to spend his whole career with one team in today's NFL. 16 years with one franchise? That's unheard of. That kind of loyalty and consistency means something, especially in a city like Philly where the bond between players and fans runs deep. It's also worth noting the narrative that's been quietly bubbling since his retirement. The way Graham and Howie Roseman talked about it back then, there was always a hint of unfinished business. Like maybe the door wasn't fully closed. Like maybe this wasn't the end, just a pause. And now we're seeing that story unfold in real time. You can almost feel the locker room rallying around him. Jalen Hurts himself talked about how BG still had his locker ready, untouched, waiting. That tells you everything you need to know about how this team views him. He's not just a player. He's part of the DNA. On the field, he's not going to play 40 snaps a game. He shouldn't. At this stage in his career, it's about quality over quantity. 15 to 20 snaps. Key third downs. Obvious passing situations. Red zone moments. Situations where his experience and motor can still make a difference. That's all you need from him. And given what he showed last year before the injury, he can absolutely still provide that. If the Eagles are smart with his usage, and they usually are with their vets, he's going to contribute. And let's not pretend the fan base isn't going to explode when he takes the field again. That stadium is going to erupt the moment he lines up for his first snap. The crowd knows what he means. They've been with him through the ups and downs, from the injury-riddled early years, through the breakout seasons, to the Super Bowl glory, and now to the encore. This isn't just a football move. It's a Philly moment. It's emotional. It's symbolic. And it's exactly the kind of storyline that galvanizes a team heading into the second half of the season. What happens after this year? Who knows? Maybe this is really it. Maybe he gets to write the final chapter of his career on his terms, in front of the fans who adore him, on the field where he became a legend. Or maybe, just maybe, this isn't the end either. Maybe there's still more to add to his story. But for now, none of that matters. What matters is that Brandon Graham is back. The heart of the defense, the soul of the locker room, the guy with the biggest smile and the loudest voice. Number 55 is coming home, and Philly couldn't be happier. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what is being described as one of the most shocking moves of the NFL offseason, multiple sources are buzzing with the news that Zack Martin, the formidable offensive lineman, has reportedly agreed to terms with the Philadelphia Eagles. While nothing is officially confirmed yet, the rumor alone has sent shockwaves through the league, leaving fans, analysts, and rival teams scrambling to digest the implications. Martin, widely regarded as one of the premier guards in the game, has long been a cornerstone of his previous franchise, known for his ability to protect the quarterback and dominate in the trenches. His rumored move to the Eagles represents not just a high-profile signing, but potentially a seismic shift in the balance of power within the NFC East. Insiders suggest that the Eagles' front office has been quietly negotiating behind the scenes, and Martin's decision to possibly join Philadelphia could be part of a broader strategy to bolster their offensive line for the upcoming season. Fans on social media are already erupting with reactions ranging from disbelief to uncontainable excitement. Some speculate this could be the missing piece for an Eagles team that has flirted with greatness but often faltered at critical moments. Others are questioning the motivations behind the move, whether it's a pursuit of a championship, a desire for a fresh start, or simply the lure of a lucrative contract in a city known for its passionate fan base. While the details of the deal remain murky, the chatter alone has ignited intense speculation. Will Martin transform the Eagles' offensive front overnight? Could this move spark a domino effect, with other star players reconsidering their positions and alliances? The NFL rumor mill is running at full throttle, and every corner of the league is paying attention. If even half of these whispers turn out to be true, the Eagles might have just pulled off one of the most audacious and talked about acquisitions in recent memory. For now, all eyes are on Zack Martin, as fans and pundits alike await confirmation of what could become the blockbuster story of the offseason. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.